What if the reason you haven't broken through yet has nothing to do with your ability, your intelligence, or your experience, but everything to do with the state you're living in? What if the difference between quitting and winning, between frustration and certainty, is not skill, but focus, not effort, but energy? Because when you're in the wrong state, even world-class talent can collapse. And when you're in the right state, everything you already have inside you comes alive. This is the moment where you stop letting stories control you and start taking control of your state. What if you could influence someone before you ever met them? Before you spoke a single word? Before you even showed up in their presence? Sounds impossible, right? But it's not. There is one powerful way to do it, and that is by creating a brand. And I don't care whether you own a company, work for someone else, or just trying to grow in life. If you are not consciously creating your brand, you are not going to rise inside an organization with your clients or in your relationships. Because a brand is simple. It's the power to influence someone before you open your mouth. You already have one. Even if you don't know business, even if you've never thought about branding, you have one. You have a brand with your kids. Parents come up to me all the time and say, will you tell my child to stop doing this or start doing that? And I ask them. They say, because he'll listen to you. And I say, really? Why doesn't he listen to you? And they pause, because their brand is inconsistency. Their brand is not holding the standard. Brand influences everyone. Your brand even influences you. Your identity is your brand. If you believe, I always procrastinate, I never follow through, guess what, you will. But if you build a belief that says, I always find a way, I step up, I follow through, I do what it takes, and you reinforce it through action, that becomes who you are. And when that's who you are, you don't wait, you don't hesitate, you act. Any new result in life requires new action, but new actions often feel hard, not because they are hard, but because you're in the wrong state. Willpower has limits, state does not. When you're in the right state, things flow. Effort disappears, you become unstoppable. So the question is, how do you change your state? Number one, your physiology, your body, the way you move, the way you breathe, the way you stand, the tone and tempo of your voice. Change your body and you change your biochemistry instantly. Slumped shoulders, shallow breath, low energy, you get one result. Change your posture, breathe deeply, move with intensity, everything shifts in seconds. Radically change your body and your state changes. When your state changes, your behavior changes. When your behavior changes, your results change. The second way is focus. Focus equals feeling. Whatever you focus on, you feel whether it's true or not. And the moment you focus on it, it becomes your reality. Learn to control your focus and you control your life. Focus on what empowers you and you feel empowered. Focus on what drains you and you feel drained. It's that simple. When you master your body and your focus, change happens fast in a heartbeat. At first, you train it like a muscle. Then it becomes second nature. It's not fake. It's not forced. It's who you are. Change your brand, change your state, change your focus. And you will change your results in business, in relationships, in health, in life itself. He told me later that back then, he was actually thinking about quitting tennis altogether. So I started asking him questions and he began telling me all his problems. My wrist, my training, my father. This happened, that didn't work. And I listened because when you're in a lousy state, guess how you stay there? You tell yourself stories about why you're stuck. She did this. He did that. I couldn't do this. We are master storytellers. And here's the truth, the story you tell determines the power you feel. Tell the wrong story and you're disempowered. Tell the right one and you're unstoppable. So I said, I hear you. I hear the frustration. I hear that nothing seems to be working. But let me ask you a question. I said, have you ever hit a tennis ball perfectly? He said, yes. I said, close your eyes. Step into that moment. Feel it, hear it, see it. Hit that ball perfectly in your mind again and again. Gradually, his face changed. His eyes were still closed, but a smile appeared. Then that smile grew. I said, open your eyes. I asked him, how did that feel? He said, I felt incredible. I said, were you thinking about your wrist? He said, no. I said, then why would focusing on your wrist ever get you back to that level of performance? You already have it in your body. You don't need to invent it. You need to access the state. And state is triggered by two things, what you do with your body and what you focus on. Then I showed him something. I had video ready. I said, watch this. The video came on. It was him at Wimbledon when he was number one in the world. And as he watched, I watched him. He started smiling from ear to ear. I said, "Do you remember that moment?" He said, "Oh, yeah." I said, "Notice how you walked onto the court. You didn't walk, you prowled like a tiger. Notice how you bounced the ball. Notice the intensity in your eyes." I asked him, "What were you focusing on?" He said, "I remember it like it was yesterday." I looked at him and thought, "Why did you even show up?" That's certainty. He didn't lose his skill, he lost his state. And when you're in the wrong state, you come up with every excuse, every reason, every problem, and they keep you trapped there. The answer is not more talent. The answer is learning how to use your body when you're at your best. Certainty is a leadership quality. People follow certainty. Not someone who says, "I don't know, what do you think?" But someone who feels it, someone who knows. And you can be that leader in your own life. Think about building a muscle. If you want bigger biceps, you don't lift a weight you can do 100 times. That does nothing. You lift a weight that challenges you. You push to 9, 10, 11 reps, and those last painful reps give you 90% of the growth. It's the same with emotional muscles. Faith unused dwindles. Courage unengaged shrinks. Passion unexpressed grows weaker. If you want strength, you have to use it. And the way you use it is through your physiology and your focus. Understanding this is not enough, you have to do it. Because when you do, everything changes. Every feeling you've ever wanted, proud, strong, loved, excited, passionate, confident, you've felt it before. And if you felt it once, you can feel it again. Use the same pattern, the same focus, the same body. Don't wait 10 years to feel alive when you finally reach some goal. Achieve the goal, but enjoy the journey. Master your state, and you master your life. At the end of the day, success is not about what you have, it's about the state you live in. You don't lose your ability, you lose your certainty. And the moment you learn to control your body and your focus, you take back that certainty. The power you're looking for isn't somewhere in the future, and it isn't in someone else's hands. It's already inside you, waiting to be activated. Use it. Train it. Demand more from yourself when it matters most. Because when you master your state, you don't just change how you feel, you change who you are, and that changes everything.